Hi everyone! Today we are going to teach you about the top 5 weirdest frogs at Snake Discovery. Now, just as a quick disclaimer, I will be holding all of the species featured in today's video with my bare hands. Some people prefer to use gloves, but if you do decide to use bare hands when holding amphibians, they are very sensitive because they actually absorb chemicals through their skin. They literally drink through their skin, and they absorb other chemicals as well. So if you want to hold amphibians yourself barehanded, just make sure you did what I did, which was rinse your hand with dechlorinated water first.
You washed and dried your hands and then rinsed.
Oh yeah, I wash and then rinse with dechlorinated water. Yeah, there you go.
So is Hypno one of our top 5 frogs?
Hypno is not one of the top 5 frogs. They're really cool, but they're not weird like the top 5. We've got weirder than Hypno here in our zoo.
Big chunky face. You say that's not weird?
He's Jabba the Hutt. All hail the Hypno toad. Number 5 on today's list is the Borneo eared frog. Now these are really cool. They're native to Borneo and the surrounding countries, and they're called the Borneo eared frog because of these raised ridges located directly behind their eye. Now these aren't actually ears, they look like ears sort of, which is why they're called the eared frog. They do happen to be located just above their tympanum, which is the hearing apparatus for frogs, so they're kind of like an ear, but they're not physically technically an ear.
They're like an ear extension.
Yeah, exactly.
Body modification.
Right, these guys would be all for plastic surgery if they were human. So these ears or ridges aren't just caused by like a flap of skin that sticks out, they actually have an extension of their skull that sticks out there, and then it's covered in the skin. So their skeletons, their skulls look really weird.
What are the raised bony ears for?
I don't know what they're for, to be honest, yeah. I couldn't find an answer of what the purpose is. Maybe just to make them look more like wood, because they're supposed to look like wood of a tree.
So like a bark piece sticking out?
Yeah, that could be.
That and breeding, let's be honest. It's always breeding.
It usually is with reptiles and amphibians, let's be honest. He's moving around here, so I might point it out. His legs have really cool tiger striping too, and this is another unique feature to Borneo eared frogs. You can see the stripes right down here. I'm gonna see if I can get him to stretch out a bit. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, look at this tiger striping. It's really pretty. Really looks like a tiger from the top side.
He's like, what are you doing to me?
A little confused right now, but also really weird. They exhibit this tiger striping even as tadpoles.
Oh, weird, really?
Yeah, super weird. They get the tiger striping before they even become fully fledged adults. And not only do they have colors that kind of look like a crested gecko, they act like a crested gecko in the sense that they fire up at night. They are nocturnal, so they're asleep during the day trying to camouflage, look like wood, and just hide and not get eaten. But at night, they wake up. They're actually very active here in our zoo at night, and they fire up to the point where they have very dark coloration with very deep contrast between the back and their legs and their belly. They just fire up just like a crested gecko. It's really cool. So yeah, there you go. The Borneo eared frog is number 5 on our top 5 weirdest frogs at Snake Discovery. Number 4 on today's list makes me giggle every time I look at them. It is the South American bird poop frog. These guys are super weird. Not as weird as some others we have coming, but they are native to the Amazon rainforest. They are also known as the marbled tree frog because of their marbly look and texture. However, I much prefer the name bird poop frog because that is 100% accurate. These guys are, of course, named after the fact that they look like bird poop, which is why they are on today's list as number 4. They look spot on to bird poop.
Yeah,
like,
especially when they're sitting on leaves.
Yeah, if
like
you were...
a bird came by and just dumped all over the leaf.
Yeah, sometimes we have people come into our zoo and they're like, where are the bird poop frogs? Looking in the enclosure, and I'm like, oh, they're there, and there.
And we have a lot of the bird
We
poop
have
frogs.
quite a few, and once you see one of them, you see all of them, and they look just so convincingly like bird poop that it is easy to miss them, but once you know what to look for, you can see them and spot them pretty easily in their exhibit here. There's not a whole lot to these guys other than the fact that they look like bird poop, but they are a small to medium-sized species. These guys are pretty much adults. Females get a little bit bigger than the males do, or similar to most other frogs. One other cool feature about them would be their bellies. I'm gonna hold this guy up here very carefully.
Yeah.
They have these beautiful yellow bellies with cool polka dots covering them.
I would guess breeding.
I would assume breeding related. Yeah, I actually don't know the purpose of the polka dots, but they're really cute at night because these guys all jump from their leaves to the glass, and you get to see all their polka dotted bellies at night when we have like night hikes here in the zoo. A lot of these frogs are very active at night, so come to one of our night hikes.
One thing that you don't have on your list that I've noticed, and it might just be our frogs,
Yeah.
But it does seem like when they are on the leaves, if the leaves are tilted at all, they actually slide slightly to kind of like
They look
act like the poop is falling down the leaf.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't noticed
Yeah,
that.
I noticed that the other day. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool.
They do have little fringes on their back legs that kind of act like a splatted bit of the bird poop, so that's kind of cool too. It's just their entire gig is to look like poop.
Well, who wants to eat bird poop?
Gosh, we really should have done a video about all the animals that look like poop in our zoo.
Yeah.
We've got the Calabar boa, we've got these guys, I'm sure there's others. Anyway, South American bird poop frog is number 4 on today's Weird Frogs at Snake Discovery list. Number 3 on the list is the Vietnamese mossy tree frog.
I wonder how it gets that name.
I don't know. Why do you think they're called the mossy frog? Wow, I'll tell you in a second. They're also
You say they look like moss?
right. They're also called the mossy jumping frog because they
Wow.
love to jump. No,
I see that.
they're called the mossy bug-eyed frog because they have pretty big eyes, and their eyes, by the way, also look like moss. It's pretty cool. They are a fairly large species of frog, and they can handle, therefore, pretty large insects compared to some other species out there. Like, these can handle pretty good-sized crickets and cockroaches, so they're not one that you have to feed like pinheads to their whole life or even fruit flies. These can handle decent-sized meals. They are native to, I mean, it's probably not a surprise, Vietnam, as well as southern China, and they are, of course, named after the fact that they look like moss. They are so cool and they're so weird. They're not the brightest. They try
No.
to climb onto air, evidently.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, the mossiness look here isn't caused just by their coloration, like with the bird poop frogs. They have actual spines and tubercules, which is the fancy word for like wart-like projections that come out of their body. Like, they are actually bumpy to the touch. They're not smooth. They feel like a toad, in all honesty.
Are they a toad?
They are not a toad. They are a
definitely
frog.
a frog?
They are
Okay.
definitely a frog. But if you look at his eyes, or her, I mean, this one might be a female, the eyes even look like moss too. It's just so cool. The habitat of the mossy tree frog is, you can probably guess, around moss. They live in rainforests, but what's cool is they try to blend into moss on land as well as moss underwater. They are found in caves, and they are trying to camouflage into underwater moss in caves specifically. So they are also nocturnal, so they are, of course, asleep and just hanging out trying to look like moss during the day, and at night is when they come out and they actually hunt and forage for food. But yeah, they're also kind of cool in the fact that they also have the similar fringe to their back legs, similar to the bird poop frogs, but in the case of this species, it's to look like moss and not bird poop.
Do their bellies look funny?
Oh!
look at yellow as well.
Yeah, it's like lichen underneath, or like light colored moss. Look at that. Really pretty. Another weird thing about these is they act like hognoses in the fact that they play dead when they are scared. They
really?
curl up into a ball when a predator is going after them, and they just not fall, they're already on the ground. They just curl up and act dead and hope the predator goes away.
He also likes to jump to that wall.
They also love to jump. Look at this cutie! Oh my gosh! One last fun fact about them is they are a very loud species of tree frog. They can throw their voice 10 to 13 feet, so they're actually pretty tough to locate in the wild. You'll hear them all around you, but they're tucked in, they're camouflaged well into their mossy surroundings, and they're so loud that you're like, they could be over there, or they could be over there, and trying to find a frog this big in a dense rainforest is pretty difficult.
I wonder if this is the frog that we would hear every once in a while around here, and we'd be like, is it here? No,
Where is
on
it?
the other side?
Yeah.
Where is this frog coming from?
Well, here's what their call sounds like. Come on.
Like a little squeak.
Yeah.
Oh.
He just responded. He started
That was
calling.
Awesome. Yeah, he was trying to call to that video.
Yeah, that was really cute. Okay, I have heard that like
Yeah.
that sound. I've heard that in the zoo. The I've never heard before. He just did it.
I've
us.
never thought that noise would come out of that big of a frog.
Yeah, it's a really cute noise. It reminds me of a bald eagle call. You would
Yeah.
never expect a bald... Yeah, you wouldn't expect that voice to come out of that big bird. Like, I would expect these guys to have a louder voice. But yeah, they can apparently throw that call to throw you off their track. Number 2 on today's list is the Solomon Island leaf frog. These are super weird. They are native to the Solomon Islands, hence their name. But instead of living up in the trees like all all the tree frogs we've seen so far, this is a ground-dwelling species. They live
like
on
green
the...
frog.
Wait, what?
It's like a green frog or a bullfrog.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they don't climb either, I guess. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. The leaf frogs live in tropical rainforests, but it is on the forest floor. So that's why they're also called the leaf litter frogs, actually. They are ambush predators, so they really pounce on anything they can catch and fit in their mouths, including their own species.
He also seems to be trying to pounce out of your hand there.
Yeah, they're very jumpy. They are, of course, named after their appearance. They are leaf frogs because they look like leaves, quite literally. They're very angular in appearance, for lack of a better word. They've got a lot of like seams and angles that really look like the leaf litter on the rainforest floor.
I like their little chin knobs.
Yeah, they have a lot of protrusions, not as many as the mossy tree frog, but they look like actual dead leaves. It's really cool. Their colors, like dead leaves, do vary in appearance. They can be anywhere from like a light tan to a yellow to even like greenish in color. So they have amazing cryptic coloration that makes you walk right past them. And even in our zoo, they blend into the leaf litter so well that it's kind of difficult to spot them.
And I only saw 2 when we walked up. Also, how did we get like 4 yellows and 1 white?
Yeah, I know we didn't get any green ones. Yeah, we got these guys as little juveniles, and we were hoping to get a variety of colors, but they're pretty much all yellow, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
right.
They're a pretty large species. Males get to about 2.5 inches long, and females get about 3.5 inches long, so we have a little bit of growing for these guys still to do, but they're mature enough, large enough to really actually look good and to see a lot of their physical features in person. But what truly makes this species weird, and the reason why they are number 2 on today's list, apart from all the other weirdness about them, is the fact that they go through direct development, which means there is no tadpole phase for this species of frog. They hatch from their eggs as fully formed miniature versions of their adult selves.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is why they often eat their own species, because they mistake it for like a cricket or something. But yeah, when they hatch, they aren't tadpoles. There's no tadpole. They skip that altogether. They are terrestrial, fully formed adults, just juveniles. So there you have it. The Solomon Island leaf frog is number 2 on our weirdest frogs at Snake Discovery list.
Mainly because they transform, they hit Emily in the face.
Wow, you've got good aim. They're very jumpy for being such a terrestrial frog. But yeah, they are so cool between their looks and how they reproduce. They are just a weird frog. And number 1 on today's list is the northern glass frog. This is also coincidentally the smallest species of frog we have in our zoo. These guys are so cute.
Such big, buggy. Stop turning away from me.
They're very glitchy in movement. They are native to Central American rainforests. They are arboreal, so they live in trees. Super curious little dudes. They are nocturnal as well, so during the daytime they hide, and here we see it too, they hide by sleeping on the underside of leaves. And there is such a nice bright green color that they blend beautifully into the leaves, and they essentially disappear.
Yeah, you can't even see them.
No, you have to look like under the leaves here in our zoo in order to see them. They do come out at night though. Again, during night hikes you can see these guys, and it's really cool to see them because of something we're gonna get into in a second. But their diet is typical for other small species of frogs. They just eat very tiny insects. We feed ours flightless fruit flies here at Snake Discovery, and we have a group of, I believe, 10 of them, something like that. They're hard to find,
Yeah,
so.
we can only find like 5.
5, yeah. Another cool fact about these is they lay their eggs on the underside of leaves as well, but they position those eggs above a body of water, so when the tadpoles hatch, they drip into that source of water, and then they live as tadpoles, they grow, develop, and then they emerge when they are ready to metamorphose. But yeah, they...
Too bad we don't have an eye in our logo. Well, we do. It's the eye in the Discovery. But
Yeah.
too bad Snake doesn't, because he'd make a perfect dot.
Yeah, you are so cute. You can get the Snake Discovery logo shirt, by the way, at snakediscoverystore.com. If you don't want something really fancy like one of our merch design shirts, you can just get our plain old logo on a black shirt. It looks
Doesn't come
sweet.
with the frog though.
No, it does not. I'm sorry. But what makes the glass frog truly the number 1 weirdest frog here in our zoo is their bellies, which are clear. They are called glass frogs because you can see through them like glass. And because of their clear belly skin, you can view their intestines, you can see their lungs and their beating heart. You can see everything through their belly. It's so weird. And that alone is why we decided to put them as number 1 on our weirdest frog list. But there you have it. All 5 of the weirdest frogs we have here in our zoo.
What were they listed as?
Number 5 was the Borneo Borneo eared frog. Number 4 was the South American bird poop frog. 3 was the Vietnamese mossy frog. Number 2 was the Solomon Island leaf frog. And number 1 was the northern glass frog. Let us know in the comments if you agree with our rating for the top 5 in today's video, or if we missed something that's actually cooler, or I guess weirder than one of the species we did include that's in our zoo. That's the qualification, it has to be in our zoo. So those of you who have been here, if you disagree with our list, or if you agree with it, let us know in the comments below.
Maybe we should get some weirder frogs.
Yeah.
Not that these aren't weird, but you know.
Okay guys, yeah, if we need another weird frog in our zoo, what should we get? Let us know what would be an even weirder frog for us to add to our zoo exhibits. Anyway, thank you Patreon backers for your amazing support. Thank you everybody for watching today's video and learning about weird frogs with us, and we'll see you next time. Oh, that's what he wants. He just wants his butt to be backed into a hand. Cute.
He's so cute. Look at that. Now he's like a frog prince. Kiss him. What just happened?
The mossy tree frog projectile peed all across my arm. It missed my shirt though, so we're good. We can keep filming.
So you got a shower from a mossy tree frog?
Yeah, this means I don't have to shower tonight, right?
You should probably still shower.
I smell great.